What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it's going viral right now. A female police officer just executed a random bystander trying to get away from a shooter, and this happened in Canada, Montreal, as an armed suspect wearing camo clothing opened fire on police. And two people are dead because of this female officer incompetence. And what are we doing, guys? It's just, we have to be honest at a certain point. Women, females should never be police officers or even in the infantry in military combat. And if you just can't accept this, I just highly suggest looking into it. How many people have to be killed and put at risk because of female cops, right? So all the videos are going viral right now all over social medias, especially X. Now, I don't want to play any of the videos, obviously, because I don't want this video to be taken down or anything, because it's pretty graphic. But it's pretty weird. They're saying it's like an incel shooter, and it's incredibly random, this random weird shooter attack. But if you watch the video, it's insanely tragic and horrendous, as basically the female police officer got scared of just a random civilian that just happened to be a random bystander, unfortunately, and very unlucky at the wrong place at the wrong time, clearly, because this female cop got scared and just pops him with her pistol. It's just very sad, very unfortunate. I'm just happy more people weren't killed by the female cop, and of course, obviously, the psycho shooter that just decided to attack in Montreal. But right now, I want to read some of the top comments just to get a feel for most people, what they're thinking. So Asmongold just made a video here, so we're going to be reading some of the top comments. He just reported about it a few hours ago, so we're going to read some of the top comments here. So it would have been safer to run to the shooter for protection. Mainstream news failed to mention this. No surprise, mainstream media. So what's funny is that, of course, all of the mainstream news media outlets are not mentioning the female incompetence from the female police officer. Of course, obviously, they're not going to mention that. Whenever female cops just perform badly because they're not built for it, they're not made to be police or infantry, of course they're not going to report that. They're only reporting about the psycho shooter, right? Even though the female cop killed a guy and shot a guy. So wasn't expecting someone to outdo Acorn Cop, but here we are. Amazing. Not even shocked, since this happened in Canada. Canadian news didn't say this. I heard it first from Asmongold, and I'm enraged by that. DEI hires poison anything they touch, especially in high stakes, extremely dangerous jobs. So females biologically aren't made for combat and fighting, right? It's pretty obvious. I feel like even people that aren't even that red-pilled agree with this, that girls shouldn't ever be cops. Women should never be police. They put everyone at danger, including random civilians, like this example, random bystanders, as well as their fellow policemen, right? Their fellow partners out there in danger. I have some cop friends, and they really don't want to be with any females out there because they're not as strong. They're not literally made for fighting. So I remember one yelling taser, taser, then mag dumps the guy. So that's just a meme. People shoot guns now and they say taser, taser to make fun of female cops, right? The citizen had no choice but to find some cover. Hindsight, he would have probably been safer running in the direction of the shooter rather than a woman in a stressful situation. Let's see how she handles accountability. These is the people who are supposed to protect us, by the way. What a freaking sad world we live in. Throw her in jail. Let's give this a little refresh because this video is a little bit old here. So it's just horrible, horrible situation. It's like a worst nightmare for not only these random civilian bystanders that would just happen to be walking around in Montreal City that day. It's just really not good. Having a mindless quota just killed another innocent person. You know, if it wasn't caught on camera, they would say the shooter killed him. Definitely. She was the second shooter. Poor guy, never stood a chance. Being shot at by gunmen, see female cop, run back to gunman for safety. So if you didn't know, if you didn't watch the video, the female cop, not only does she shoot the random guy that kind of popped out and scared her, right? But after that, she actually runs away. So it's even worse of a situation because she just ran away from the danger there. So just point proven again and again. How many times do we have to do this, guys? It's just ridiculous. DEI don't examine intelligence. Canadian News didn't say this. Oh yeah, I read that already. You have better chances of survival to run to a bear than to run to an armed woman. Facts. DEI hires poison anything they touch. Oh yeah, I read that. Sorry, trying not to read ones. Women can never have the monopoly on violence, period. I feel so bad for that innocent man. But Disney projects such as Rookie and Captain America 4 show that 5-foot women can beat up groups of 6-foot hardened criminals and armed soldiers with ease, right? So yeah, all of the modern TV shows are just, they always show women just beating up like the biggest guys. Friendly fire will not be tolerated. For further context, she got the other cop struggling for cover, and that's how he ends up getting shot. And this happens when you prioritize equality over capability, right? That's a really good point. The bystander needs to be a POC for anyone to care. We are witnessing the failure of a social experiment in an environment that does not forgive mistakes. The citizen had no choice. Oh yeah, I read that. A competent female police officer is an oxymoron, so I'm not surprised. So at the department I work at, we had officer killed in line of duty, and the female officer ran away. She left him to die, but the higher-ups gave her a award and took her off the road. The body camera footage of her actions were disgusting. Pure cowardice. Sorry. She needs to have her badge taken away for shooting a civilian, but sadly, something tells me nothing will happen to her. I'm guessing no news outlet will report on the situation. Oh yeah, no, we're going to see no news report on it. That's not what they do. They try to push females being strong and more capable than men at fighting and in stressful environments, right? It's already hard enough for men as it is, and men are like built for fighting and built for killing, right? Man, if she actually nailed the shooter, they'd be wall to wall for it for years and years and years. They had little girls 40 years later saying they want to be like her. And this is Canada, right? So they're probably going to give an award to this female officer for shooting a random civilian, I bet, because that's how woke Canada is, obviously. Imagine running for safety and getting shot by the person supposed to protect you. Imagine getting assigned this chick as a partner and knowing with 100% certainty that she will abandon you or harm you in a high-stress situation. But if you say or do anything about it, you will be punished. Exactly, that's what happens when male police try to talk about this, right? And this is a huge issue across the world, right? Well, in certain countries, it's not as common. And I bet there's a few countries where females obviously aren't allowed to be police, but not many, sadly, right? But things must change. Wow, she murked the wrong person and bailed on the job when the actual gunman showed up. I hope she gets sued into the dirt. May she never know peace. Had an ex-com panic moment. There's a lot of anecdotes that form a pattern that shows that there needs to be a reality check. This is why you shouldn't have cowards as police officers. that goes for male and females. No, I kind of disagree with that. Females just shouldn't be police or infantry roles. Um, it's a stressful situation isn't an excuse. You should only be in a position that almost solely entails stressful situations if you can handle yourself properly in stressful situations. It's important to understand that people don't actually want female cops. They only advocate for things like this because they have taken a immature ideology to the extreme, and they want to defend that ideology no matter if it makes sense or not. The old guy knew he was safer standing next to the shooter than running to the woman for help. So yeah, there's a few other bystanders, obviously, that were filming it and were nearby the shooting. Just look at this one tweet on X, 4.5 million views, and this is just one. It's the story is exploding today. She was all jacked up and couldn't recognize a civilian. She saw movement, instantly turned and shot at it. The dumb civilian should have stayed down. Let's see here. So, let me get this straight. You think female first responders are a liability? I do, and I'm tired of pretending they're not. Yeah, so are you safer with a mass shooter than a female cop? It doesn't look good, right? Liberals would rather people die than admit men and women are different. There can be no compromise with the blank slate religion, or else it becomes entirely untenable. Yeah, it's really not good. Yikes. Certified female cop moment. So yeah, really tragic, really sad. Obviously, I wish it didn't happen, and it's not funny, but it's really not good. Things really need to change here. It's like, how many times does this have to happen where female cops just kill innocent people or the criminal, right? We've seen that happen too. Accidentally shooting people thinking they have the taser when they pulled their real firearm. So let me know what you guys think about this story as we see it develop, and I'm sure they're going to do a lot of investigating, and I'm sure there's a lot of information we don't know about, so obviously it's so new, but I just wanted to report the news to get you guys information. But really tragic situation. I just really hope that females just stop being police across the world. That's like my dream. And infantry, I don't think I think it's okay to have them in military, but I think they should be the nurses and, desk jobs in the military, not anywhere near combat. So yeah, let me know what you think about the comments down below. Type us a comment, and see you guys in the next video. Take care.